If you've been in a job that's been making you miserable for more than 6 months, you are probably making a mistake that is costing you a little bit more than you realize. And when I say costing you, I'm not talking about the obvious stuff, right? Things like your mental health or even your happiness, even though those things definitely matter. I'm talking about it costing you in things you might not see, like your earning potential, your confidence, and years of your life that you genuinely can't get back. So in this video, I'm sharing with you the biggest mistake that women make when dealing with toxic jobs, why we tend to make that mistake, and most importantly, the 3 steps that you need to take to stop making that mistake so you can be in a more fulfilling job. Plus, I'm going to share with you a story about a client who waited way too long to make a move and what it actually ended up costing her. If you're new here, hello. And if you're a regular viewer, welcome back. I'm Dr. Tega. I'm a career coach who helps professional women leave draining jobs and land higher paying, more fulfilling careers. And I do this work because candidly, I've been there too. I've been stuck in a miserable job, questioning my worth, and I know what it's like to come out on the other side doing work that you genuinely enjoy, where everything finally feels right. And now I'm on a mission to help more women experience the joy, satisfaction, and confidence that comes with doing work that is aligned with the gifts that God has given you. So let's get into today's video. Okay, so the biggest mistake that I see professional women who are stuck in a toxic job make is staying in that toxic job for way too long, hoping that things will get better or convincing themselves they don't have other options. Like, imagine that it's Sunday night, you're laying in bed, and you get that familiar knot in your stomach, right? The one where you start thinking about Monday morning and you just start dreading everything. You're dreading your demanding boss, the impossible deadlines, the colleagues who undermine you at every step or are always backbiting, or maybe just the soul-crushing monotony of doing work that feels so meaningless to you. Then you start telling yourself, maybe this week will be different, or maybe if I work harder or speak up or prove myself, things will improve. But Monday comes and it's the same thing. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the same. By Friday, you are so emotionally drained that you spend the entire weekend just recovering enough to face another week of the same thing. Well, why are you still in that job when you know that you hate it? In my experience, usually one of 3 things is happening. First, you're telling yourself, I should just be grateful that I have a job. Especially in uncertain economic times, we're often told to just push through and not complain, to settle for stability, that other people don't have jobs. But being grateful that you have a job doesn't mean you have to accept being treated like trash or poorly or working in conditions that are legit killing you slowly. Second, if you are a high achiever, which candidly most of my clients are, you have probably built an identity around being the dependable one who sticks it out. You think leaving makes you a quitter, so you stay to prove that you can hack it. But let me ask you this. Where is the logic in staying to prove that you can do something that you hate? I'll wait. That's what I thought. There's no logic behind it, sis. You have to recognize that there is a difference between perseverance and self-sacrifice. Okay? And then third, you are probably still in that job you hate because you're thinking to yourself, I don't know what else I could do. Or what if there's nothing better out there? Or what if I make a change and it's just as bad as this one? So it feels safer to stay in that job that you hate. And it's like saying the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. But baby, we're Christians. We don't want any devil at all, especially not a devil that is slowly destroying your confidence and your health. The fact of the matter is that staying in a toxic job is not the safe option. It's actually the riskiest choice you can make for your career. And when I say riskiest, I'm not exaggerating. I actually mean it. So let me share with you 3 major ways that staying in a toxic job is actually making you miserable and is slowly breaking you down, because I honestly don't think that most people realize how expensive it is to stay in a toxic job. So first, it is damaging your confidence and making you question your skills and your worth. When you are in an environment that doesn't value you, what often starts happening is that you start internalizing that treatment. So now you are thinking to yourself, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was, or maybe this is all I'm capable of. I have actually had really accomplished clients tell me that they started believing they weren't smart enough, that they weren't leadership material, that they weren't worth investing in, all because they stayed in job environments that started treating them like trash. Second, it has taken a toll on your mental, emotional, and even your physical health. The thing about chronic workplace stress is that it doesn't stay at work. It follows you home. It affects your sleep, your relationships, your ability to enjoy life outside of work. Like, I have worked with women who developed anxiety disorders, depression, chronic fatigue, even physical symptoms like headaches, a stutter, and ulcers, all connected to their toxic work environments. And then third, staying in a toxic job is putting a cap on your earning potential and is actually slowing down your ability to become truly financially independent. Because every year that you stay in a role that undervalues you is a year that you are not building towards better compensation. So while other women are negotiating raises, they're getting promotions, or even just making strategic career moves that's allowing them to advance, you are stuck in place. And the compound effect of this over time is massive. Like, I know this holds women back because I see it again and again with the women who come into my program, find a fulfilling career to work with me. They have waited so long to make a move that by the time they do, they are so exhausted and filled with self-doubt, which is why they're looking for a coach to support them. They've spent so long trying to survive a job that drains them that they have forgotten what it feels like to thrive. But usually, once we get them into roles that honor their values and talents, they start to come back to life and their careers take off. They're earning more, they're impacting more, and they're influencing more. So all that being said, what should you do instead of waiting and hoping that your toxic job gets better? Well, before I share the 3 steps, if you are finding this video helpful so far, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below so that you don't miss future videos from me. And it also lets YouTube know that this video is worth sharing with other people. Thank you. So now let's talk about the 3 steps that you can take to stop making this costly mistake of waiting for your toxic job to get better when candidly you already have years of evidence that it is not going to get better. Okay, so let's get into it. Step 1 is recognize the signs that your toxic job is toxic, not hard. There is a difference between a challenging job and a toxic one. So challenge can actually be energizing when it's in the right environment, but toxicity, on the other hand, is systematically damaging your health. So what are some signs of toxicity that you can look for? Well, think things like if you are feeling anxious on Sunday night just thinking about work, if you are emotionally numb during the workday just to get through, if you are constantly questioning your worth and abilities, if you are losing sleep over work stress, or if you find yourself dreading interactions with your boss or even your colleagues, that is not normal. That's not just work being work. Those are signals that something is fundamentally wrong with your job. And the next step is to make a list of what is no longer working for you and what you want instead. So at this point, you want to get really clear about your non-negotiables. And this isn't about finding the perfect job at this point. It's really just about identifying what absolutely has to change for you to be okay at work. Because the reality of us living in capitalistic societies is that we have to work, okay? Like, we got bills to pay. And it's important not to just settle under the assumption that work is meant to be miserable. So maybe your non-negotiables are things like respectful communication, reasonable deadlines, opportunities for growth, or even work that feels meaningful. Maybe it's things like flexible scheduling so that you can take care of your sick kid, or fair compensation so you can buy a new house, or a manager who actually supports you. Whatever it is, write it down. Getting clear on your non-negotiables will help you recognize when something is genuinely better and not just different from what you're in right now. Step 3 is to create a transition plan. So even if you are not ready to apply for jobs yet, that's totally fine. But this is where people get stuck, right? They know they need to leave, but they don't know how to start. So when you put together a transition plan, it gives you concrete steps to take, which makes the whole process feel a lot less overwhelming. A transition plan will allow you to lay out the steps, the timelines, the resources that you need to successfully leave your miserable job and land one you love without burning out. And you also have to get clear about the specific steps that you will take to make it happen. So this could mean things like you have to update your resume or your LinkedIn profile. Maybe you need to set up informational interviews with people in jobs that you're curious about. Maybe you need to research companies whose values you think align with yours to confirm, or even honestly, just starting to save money specifically for your transition period. The goal at this point isn't to quit your job tomorrow. The goal is to start building towards your exit so that you're moving from a position of strategy, not desperation. Because the truth is that while hope is not a strategy, having hope will keep you motivated toward your goal of work that you love. In fact, the Bible tells us in Proverbs 13:12 that hope deferred makes a heart sick. So we know that when you start to lose hope, it can really start to break you down internally and in your heart. So hope matters on this journey. Now, this is making me think about one of my clients who had stayed in a toxic corporate environment as an outpatient coordinator for 3 years. So she had been unhappy for 3 years, and she stayed because she felt like she needed to prove herself. The environment was so challenging that she actually started questioning whether she was even good at her work anymore. This is somebody who had a master's, who was qualified, but there was so much doubt because of the job environment that she was in. Once she got clear about her values when working with me, we realized that autonomy and leadership were really important to her. So she started positioning herself differently. We redid her resume, redid her LinkedIn profile. She started communicating with people. And eventually, in about, I would say 4 months, she actually landed an interview with a company. She went in the interview, used the support that I give my clients to interview well, and landed a completely different role in the circuit court while increasing her salary by $20,000. From outpatient mental health to the legal field, those are two completely different fields. And she was able to do that once we started with clarity, understanding what was important to her, and positioning her for that role. And more importantly, her confidence skyrocketed because she finally felt seen and valued for who she actually was. The key here was that she stopped trying to fix her current situation and started looking for something better, for an environment that was better. And that's what I want you to take from this video. If you take nothing else, think about this. If you have been unhappy for months, even years, you already have all the data that you need to let you know that it is not going to get better. So you need to stop waiting for it to get better. Stop waiting for them to keep undervaluing you. Stop waiting for your health and confidence to get worse. Instead, take control. Get in the driver's seat in your career. Believe that fulfilling work is possible for you and go after it. So if you're ready to stop making this mistake of waiting and create a real plan for leaving your toxic job, you should definitely check out and watch my free training, Leave Your Miserable Job and Live a Fulfilled Life in 2 Simple Steps. In this free on-demand training, I walk you through my complete process for identifying what kind of work will actually support you, not just financially, but even emotionally and mentally also. And in the video, in the training, I show you how to stop wasting time waiting for things to get better and start actively moving towards a job, something that truly fits and aligns. And then at the end of the training, you will also learn all the details about my coaching program, Find Your Fulfilling Career, where I guide women through a step-by-step process to leave miserable jobs that are soul-sucking and draining them, jobs they hate, and land jobs they actually genuinely love and are excited about while increasing their salaries by $10,000 or more. The link to register for the free training is in the description below, or you can just head to leaveyourmiserablejob.com to access the training today. Now, as you're watching this video, if there is any part of you that's thinking, but what if it's just a bad season and I leave too soon? Here's my response to you. Girl, you already have evidence that it is not going to get better. If you have been feeling this way for months or even years, it is probably not just a season, it's a sign. You can be grateful for what your job has given you up until this point and still decide that it's no longer aligned with who you are. That doesn't mean that you're quitting too soon. It just means that you're choosing yourself. It means that you love and trust yourself enough to make career choices that allow you to thrive in your career and not just survive, because there is a difference. So if you are ready to finally do work that lights you up, you should definitely register for and watch my free on-demand training today. It's called Leave Your Miserable Job. The link to register for the training is in the description below, or again, it is leaveyourmiserablejob.com. Don't wait until you are so burned out that you can't even imagine what better could look like. You deserve to do work that energizes you, be in a company that values you and pays you what you're worth so you can fund your dream lifestyle. So click that link in the description below or go to leaveyourmiserablejob.com to access the training today. Now, if this video helped you see your situation differently, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that other women can find this message when they need it the most. And if you are not already subscribed to my channel, you should definitely hit that subscribe button below. That way you never miss a future video from me, because I share strategies every week for finding fulfilling work without starting over in your career. Now, before you go, girls, stick around. There's another video. I'm gonna get out of the way right now. There's another video popping up on the screen right here. Click that video, watch that video. It is going to help you in your career or in your job search. Don't go anywhere. Watch the video that's popping up right here.